Human beings are social creatures. We not only love to surround ourselves with people, but we also want to share our personal stories and experiences with them. In the 21st century, we only have to turn on our laptop or smartphone to start a conversation with people around the globe. So, being on your own for a very long period of time, isolated from friends, family, and loved ones, can sound a little frightening to some people. And as some famous guy has also said, that a person living out of society is either God or beast, it is really difficult, if not impossible, to live isolated from society. In these circumstances, one may wonder what can isolation do to a person, and how much time is needed for a person living alone to go crazy. Today we shall explore 3 stories of such people who spend hours, months, and even years alone. So stick with us throughout the video and know about these interesting scientific experiments and stories. Our first story is from NASA experiment, which was conducted as a part of long space mission experiments in 1972. A French underground explorer and adventurer with name Michael Siffre descended 100 feet into a cave in Texas, USA. He lived in a nylon tent with few comforts including freezer, furniture, books, music player, and some scientific instrument. Along with monitoring him, NASA provided him with food supplies for 6 months. As per the guidelines of the experiment, he was not allowed to have any contact with the outer world. The lack of sensory and social stimulation led to gradual deterioration of his memory, eyesight, and mental well-being. By 2.5 months, his memory became so bad that he forgot things unless he wrote them down immediately. His memory was so weak that after finishing the experiment, when he returned to his home, he was unable to recognize his own wife. He continued having problems with his memory even 3 years after finishing the experiment. Although the condition in this experiment was moderate, yet it was enough to disturb one's mental well-being. But what happens when you face more extreme conditions in your isolation? To know about this, let's move to a more weird experiment conducted by BBC for shorter duration but with more extreme conditions. This experiment was done to find out, can a human endure total sensory deprivation without losing their sanity? A group of 6 volunteers was sent into a former nuclear bunker for 48 hours. There was no sound, no light, and no interaction. Most of us cannot live in dark for more than few minutes. So even imagining this condition where there was nothing to see, nothing to hear, nothing to smell, nothing to taste, and nothing to feel is enough to give a chills if not a heart attack. One of the volunteers in the experiment was comedian Adam Bloom. He started his 48 hours by talking, singing, and making jokes until he was bored. Then he walked into the darkness of his room for some time. Thinking too much about his life led him to worry about his finance and family. After a few hours, he fell asleep. But when he woke up, he totally lost the track of time. After 18 hours into the experiment, things took a drastic turn and he started to experience paranoia. He started singing and crying. He was not able to control his own emotions. As he had nothing to do, he kept himself occupied by pacing his room endlessly. After 40 hours into the experiment, he began to hallucinate. He started seeing pile of oyster shells and he felt that the room was taking off beneath him. Thus we can see clearly that taking away a person's all sensory input even for a short period of time can make him crazy. But what happens when you are locked in isolation for more than 4 decades? Our last story is about a person named Albert Woodfox who spent 43 years and 10 months in the solitary confinement. For the people who don't know about solitary confinement, it is a cell in the prison where some hardened criminals spend 22 to 23 hours of their day. Woodfox was imprisoned and locked into solitary confinement for murdering a prison guard. But he and his friends say that he was framed due to his affiliation to a group named Black Panther. He spent his 23 hours a day in a 6 by 9 cell. He had only 1 hour a day to do exercise and spend time with the general prison population. Due to lack of light and visual stimulation in his cell, he used to feel deteriorating vision, muscle atrophy, and cardiovascular hypertension. He feared that he might start screaming and not be able to stop. He also felt that he was a baby curled up in fetal position and lay there day after day for the rest of his life. The thought of suicide crossed his mind several times during this period. Anyway, he survived a long 43 years, but his interview sounded like as if he was crazy. Today we have seen many examples of people being in isolation for short as well as long period of time. How long it takes to drive you crazy depends on the individual and condition of their isolation. But even in the extreme cases, people recover from these conditions after some time. So how long do you think you can live in isolation? Tell us in the comment box. And for more such interesting videos, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon.